Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, one rental at a time community. I had to record a quick video to get over to you guys. Zuber and other friends sent me Grant Cardone's video that he released on Tuesday, October 31st, talking about the changes that Fannie Mae is bringing on November 18th, 2023. We've talked about them. I've released videos, 2 to 4 units, owner occupied, Fannie Mae, meaning conventional, 5% down. This is a change from duplexes being 15% down and 3 to 4 units being 25% down. So it's a game changer. It's huge. It's amazing. The only problem is when my buddy, Uncle G, Grant Cardone, creates a video that causes more confusion, even for somebody like me, than it does provide clarity. Now, I created my own video that I'll release on my channel. So go check out Matt the Mortgage Guy sometime in the next week, where I'm having fun with it, right? I don't dislike Grant Cardone. The guy's a hard charging entrepreneur. He's moving fast. He's shooting from the hip, but don't put out bad info, Grant. I listened to this. In the first minute of the video, he says 2 things that are absolutely incorrect. First, he says 4 units plus, and let's straighten it out, 2 to 4 units, meaning 2, 3, and 4 unit properties, 5% down starting on November 18th. Another thing he said was something about debt service coverage ratio loans, talking about it as if it's new, which it's not, then stating that you no longer have to have a credit score. That's not true either. And so he's excited. I'm excited. He's going to do a live stream on November 18th about these big changes, where you can find stuff for 50 cents on the dollar. I don't know where the heck that's coming from, but in regards to the Fannie Mae change, 5% down, 2 to 4 unit owner occupied. Grant, I really want you to stay in your lane. You're great at raising money. You're great at marketing. You might know a thing or two about commercial real estate, more than me for sure. But residential stuff, man, 1 to 4 unit, that's my lane, homeboy. Let me educate people and give them the proper information. I already saw in Grant's comment section, people talking about, yes, I can't wait. I've got no credit score, and these other lenders were telling me that I couldn't get my financing. Probably the case. And I told that nice commenter to not hold his breath, right? Because you don't have a credit score. You don't have any money down. Those lending programs don't exist. And debt service coverage ratio loans, again, been around a long time. I work with dozens of investors. They want a credit score. They also want 20% plus down payment. Sure, you can find some that might do it for 15% down, but more often than not, you've got to have a debt service coverage ratio that's 1 or above. You got to have 20% down or more. He mixed these two. And I think that a lot of people get confused thinking that like 5% down conventional and debt service coverage ratio are the same thing. That's what it sounded like the first time I watched the video. Not the case. 2 totally separate things. I think he wants to talk about both of them on November 18th. Hard to figure out, right? If it's hard for me to figure out as a lender who's funded hundreds of millions in residential mortgages, rest assured it's going to be hard for the common man or woe man out there to figure it out. So 2 to 4 unit, owner occupied, Fannie Mae conventional lending, 5% down, coming November 18th. They still haven't released all the information. I've got their media release that was like October 25th that talks about some of the stuff. If you guys want, maybe I'll just do this, right? Responsibly increasing affordable housing supply. Let me just share this document real quick because I think it's a good one. And there it is right there. So this is something that they released. Again, we don't know mortgage insurance rates per se. We don't know how they're going to treat the rental income of the other units. We can guess, but it's not for sure. We don't know if the contract date has to be November 18th or later. If we can get in contract now and the close date is November 18th, I'm going to try to get this information as soon as possible. Everyone's telling me early November is as soon as we're going to get it. So stay tuned for that stuff on One Rental at a Time with Zuber, also on my channel, Matt the Mortgage Guy. But This is a really cool program that's coming out, and the way they're positioning it and saying this is responsibly increasing affordable housing supply and access to credit, for folks that used to have to put 15% down on 2 units, 25% down on 3 to 4, on or after November 18th, 5% down, 2 to 4 units, 95%. And there's going to be huge loan limits, right? Like you can buy a fourplex up to 1.4 million and put 5% down. In the high cost areas, Santa Clara, whatever, like $2.1 million purchase, 5% down. Pretty dang sweet. They talk about, older neighborhoods across the country and large cities like Chicago and Boston, where it's one person that owns this fourplex and it's a kind of a little family business, building wealth, creating affordable home ownership. It talks about the demographics, how a large representation of Black, Hispanic, Latino own these 2 to 4 unit buildings. So a great thing for a lot of people, in my opinion, and I've talked about this before, there's nothing greater for a first-time buyer, whether it's FHA 3.5% down in areas where those numbers work and you can get past the self-sustainability rule on 3 to 4 units, or whether it's this conventional 5% down. If I was 25 to 30 years old looking to buy a house and I qualified and can buy a fourplex where I live in one and I rent out 3, it would be game changer, life changing. Think about a 25-year-old that bought a fourplex, and the numbers don't have to be phenomenal, but the 3 units that were rented out equaled 4,200, 1,400 times 3, and your total mortgage was 4,000. So you're essentially breaking even. You're recovering the biggest expense in your life, which is your housing. So you live for free. 12 months from now, 24 months from now, or 5 years from now, you move out. Rents have now gone up to $1,600 per door, and you're not living in one of them anymore. Now you've got $6,400 in net rents versus a $4,000 mortgage. You can have a little bit of cash flow, a little bit of extra income coming in on the side. You could take that extra income and throw it towards the mortgage, and maybe you do that extra $2,000 in principal and get this thing paid off in 10 years. Now you've got an asset that's worth whatever it's worth, $600, $800, $1 million. And you've got $6,400 in rents coming in. Maybe you got property taxes and homeowners insurance and capital expenses and some repairs, but $4,000 to $5,000 in your pocket in your mid-30s in income. Have somebody property manage it. Give them $300, $400 a month to collect those rents. And literally, you've got passive income coming in, right? It's only one property bought one time and bought right. I don't know. I think it's a great idea. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Thanks, Mike, for letting me record this. I'm off on a business trip. You guys have a great day and talk to you soon. If you want to connect me and my team, greatmortgagebroker.com. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.